welcome to the M2M Project. I'm your host, Sebastian MacLean. Today, I'm really excited to be bringing to you a friend of mine named Sebastian Dove, a film director, filmmaker, who has seen some bumpy roads in the process of trying to get something off the ground, and he's done it. He's got something to market. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk to someone who's at the ground floor of bringing a film out to the world. Well, awesome, man. I'm so glad that you were able to jump on the call with me here today.
Yeah, no worries. I'm always ready to do promotion.
Great, great. Well, you are the director of Ghost Webcam, if I have that correct.
Correct.
And we'll get a shot of that up on the screen as well, so that people can see where that is. I believe it's located on Tubi, is it not?
Currently, it's on Tubi, and we're expecting to see where it's going to be available, maybe on another few streaming channels. But yeah, it's on Tubi, which is great. US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, and it's available to watch for free.
How about maybe a little bit of background on what your journey has been? Because you've been directing, of course, more than this film, like, as I understand, commercials and things like that prior to, but this was your first major feature film getting that out. So how did that develop? Like, what's your background, and how did you get to the place where you've gotten this first film out?
Correct. Well, it's been ongoing for quite a while. I got passionate about films and filmmaking when I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. Along the years, it got me into doing various things. I did a short film, which is called Derelict, which is why the company is called that way, Derelict Films, based on the name of the short film, which I did for like $10, and that's it, which got me going afterwards and doing like corporate videos, down the line music videos. When I came to Canada, eventually I did TV commercials. So yeah, it's been an ongoing journey from pretty close to nothing. I didn't go to film school. I have no family in the business whatsoever, so no Nepo kid for me. Yeah, so it's just been ongoing, like pushing the ball up the hill and then trying to make sure that the ball doesn't go back on me and squashes me down.
Right. And I guess a lot of that experience in doing music videos and commercials, obviously that's been quite a learning ground, I would expect, for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I did my first professional work, I did things like basically pulling cables, taking care of what's called a video village, which is where director, producers, actors go and see what the take they've just done, what it looks like, which is actually one of the best experiences I ever had, because it enabled me to see what everybody was doing professionally on a film set. But yeah, it's been going forward, and what we call made to end men, which is basically you're lucky enough to have a budget to do something, maybe a corporate video, maybe a music video, and you try and make the best with what you have, which sometimes mean that I did work in the past, like music videos, where I put all the budget on the screen and not pay myself. I would rather eat ramen back in the day and do put as much money on screen than take too much money out and not get something done properly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ongoing journey from short films to where I'm now.
I think guys like Steven Spielberg and other directors have kind of lambasted some of the film school programs, like the big heavy cost film school programs, because they've said you can learn a lot more just by being in it, and whether you're on set, doing the steps or learning the steps, that's really where you learn it, by getting
Definitely.
hands on and being in the middle of it.
I mean, I don't want to diss film schools, but I think it's in many ways, a different approach. What it does enable you to create when you go to film school, a network of people, which hopefully you're going to meet when you're young, and you're going to work together as you progress. But film school doesn't teach you how you deal with the truck that contains your lights crashing and you having only 2 lights left instead of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And film school doesn't tell you how you deal with that. Film school doesn't tell you how you deal with people going mental on a set, being unmanageable, that's something unfortunately you learn on the spot and you have to deal with.
Right.
So yes, there's no such there's no better thing than real life experience making films. And I think nowadays people are lucky because they can make maybe short films, YouTube videos, whatever, a lot more easily, and it's a lot more cheaper than what it used to be. So all that learning curve, you're 16, you're 20, whatever, you can take yourself and you can go and do a video in the backyard. It's probably going to be crap, but you're going to be learning a lot. And you do another one, you're going to make better stuff. You're going to get feedback. So yeah, all of that's changed compared to when I started. A film had to be on film. There
Right.
was no such thing as digital. It barely existed. And when people would take a look at digital, they would poo-poo it. I even had one guy tell me, "Oh, there'll never be high quality video on the internet." I think Netflix, Tubi, Amazon, etc. would kind of defer on that.
When YouTube first came out, because I was the director of a film festival at the time, we were in kind of a post setup meeting, and someone mentioned this new streaming service for people to put their home movies on, and I remember shaking my head saying, "Who wants to watch somebody's home movies? And in low resolution, and this will never fly."
It's
I
actually
laughed.
interesting because we're doing this right now, and it's going to be on YouTube. But there's been another seismic change in the last maybe year or so regarding YouTube. A lot of filmmakers would say, "Oh, I want my film to go in theaters. I want them to go theatrical." Which, unless you're Disney or Paramount or one of the mini majors, like maybe Blumhouse, people like that, your likelihood of going in theaters is 99.9% unlikely.
Yeah.
Uh, if you put your film on YouTube, and I'm not saying you put it on your own private channel, which is viewed by 10 people, etc., but if you manage to put it on what's called a multi-channel network, an MCN, each time it's going to be seen, it's going to be money with ads. Which is interesting. And also, people tend to forget that YouTube is actually the biggest streaming network in the world. I think it's like 2.6 billion with a B viewers. So if you put your film and you're getting 1 million views, and you're getting paid each time for ad being seen, I mean, you're probably going to make more money there than video on demand, paid per download stuff. People don't like to pay.
Yeah.
It's a fact. But if you're getting money from the ads in your film instead of maybe selling 10 on Apple TV or whatever as a download, you're going to make more money. You're going to get more views. More views means you get known, and yeah, so there's a world of opportunity out there.
We've talked about this before, that depending on what your distributor deal is and how much money they are willing to pay or have to pay, and there's marketing that has to happen. And so the odds of getting much on the other side of a film, if you don't have a really great deal, and it's not going to take off enormously, a lot of that money is going to bleed back into marketing costs, I guess. And if you know what you're doing with your marketing and you're able to get that kind of view count on YouTube, you just might end up making more money that way. It's kind of interesting.
It's a two-pronged approach. It's a whole discussion about distribution. If you got a film and you got stars, or if you're doing a film like a film which came out recently called Fall, with the two girls going on top of a TV tower, and which was actually
Right.
great. And you get what is called minimum guarantee, and you get actually paid for the film, and goes theater, etc. That's one thing, but I think that's more like in the multi-million-dollar range.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the rather less dollar range, as I am, and as many indie filmmakers are, there's two approaches. Either you go with a distributor and you make your due diligence. You got to be extremely careful with who you deal with.
Mm-hmm.
That's you can do that. There's more options nowadays beyond YouTube because of people. Some people don't like YouTube, etc. There are platforms. I would name two. One is called Indie Rights, owned by Linda Nelson. Great people to work with. They will help you put the film on all the streamers, get your key art posters, but there's more than posters. You know, there's pictures for the streaming channels. Each streaming channel has a different size of art, etc. And they will help you do marketing in the sense that they will show you how to do the marketing, which nowadays is going to be mostly social media, sometimes paid ads. In the case of a horror film, doing paid ads on Facebook or Instagram is pretty close to impossible because they don't like the genre. And you know, being profitable with ads is difficult. There's another platform called Film Hub, where again you put your finished movie on the platform with key art, with subtitles, which is a legal obligation in the US. And it will help you go on Amazon TV, Freevee, which is the Tubi, of Amazon, Apple TV, etc., etc. So it's more like a marketplace. You put your film, and the channels are going to take it, yes or no. Right. And like everything else, if you are successful on one of the channels, I think in the back end of that platform, they see that it's successful. So the other channels will say, I want a piece of that. So you get more views, more streams. So the more views, more streams you get, the more money you make eventually. It's not like selling a product on eBay where you get your money within 5 days. It's more like a 6 month, 9 month process to get the money back and eventually maybe be in profit. So yeah, but marketing, I would say nowadays, if you're indie, go and do social media. I mean, have an account only dedicated to your film or to your production company, and connect with people who are in the same genre or subgenre. So I don't know, if you're making a kung fu movie, it's actually worth going into, let's say you're in Kansas City, and you go and take all the groups that do kung fu in Kansas City in your state, extend to the country. If it's in English, UK, Canada, Australia, etc. Connect with more people and ask politely, do you mind if I put the trailer to my film? Most of the time it's going to be yes, because it's something they're interested in. If you're making a documentary on old Jaguar cars and you go to a Jaguar group, people are going to watch that.
Right.
So you do that, you get more views. Be ready to have some people be morons and be aggressive in social media. They're hiding behind a keyboard. They can do whatever they want. It seems like it's okay to do so nowadays. So just ignore. Don't get into any stupid fights. It's not worth it. And when people are passionate, the people you connect with are as passionate as you have been to spend a year doing a movie. If you have the people in front of you are as passionate, they will connect. And some people will say, when are you doing something else? When, I'm interested, I'd like to be in the next film, blah, 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 blah. So it was not to snowball. The most difficult thing, I think you want to touch on that later, is get something done.